Here we have a 2003 Toyota Sequoia. This one comes in black with a two-tone gray. The paint seems to have held up over the years, but we have light charcoal leather interior. And then our powertrain consists of a 4.7 liter naturally aspirated V8 made into a 4-speed automatic transmission. And this one just has a little under 220,000 miles. But coming around to the front end here, we have our headlamps and fog lights, and one of the fog light bulbs are out here. Easy fix though. Everything seems to still be in great shape on this one for the mileage in the year. A few rock chips, but you can't really see it on that gray. Then we have aftermarket wheels here. Just a little bit of peel in there. Running boards. And then we do have our power door lock controls here, rear window lock, and then we have one-touch automatic up and down windows for the front, regular power windows for the back, JBL sound system. Pretty good storage in the door panel here. And then this one has a trailer brake controller. We will open that hood for later. And then we have the parking brake there as a foot pedal. And then we can roll down that rear window here, gauge cluster brightness, and then we can tilt our steering wheel. And there is our power driver's seat with power lumbar support. Obviously a little wear here, but the leather seems to have held up pretty nicely, again, for it to be a 20-plus-year-old car. And then this one has the crossbars for the luggage rack. Let's go ahead and check out this rear leg room. So pretty impressive space. I'm 6'3", have that seat up front adjust for my driving position. Tons of space between my kneecaps and the back. Tons of headroom, just super impressive. But what makes it so impressive is this is a 2002, and even though it's huge, still. And then we have our rear AC controls here, then the volume knob. We can cut the whole system off for the back if we want to, when it's not locked out. And then we have cup holders here as well. Seat back pockets on both sides, and then the middle seat folds down. You can use that as an armrest. But what's super neat is this one has tons of service records, even the original window sticker. So y'all can pause anywhere you need to if you just want to take a look at that. And a huge shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this high mileage Sequoia here, which I guess is really not high for a Sequoia, but still. And that's what the sticker price was 20 years ago. How things have changed. There's a view of the back seat there. Let's go ahead and make our way to the back. I popped the gas cap, so there's that there. And then coming around to the back end, still really good shape. I'm surprised there aren't any scratches or anything from the lift gate hitting something. There's our tow hitch, spare tire, exhaust. And then of course you can remove this third row if you ever want to. Just follow the steps there. "12-volt back in here, little storage pocket there. And then coming back around to the rear passenger side, if you need to get to that third row, just pull this here, and then you can fold flat or click it again and tumble the seat, and you can get back to that third row, and then just lock it back into place. And then here we have our power front passenger seat. Glove compartment here, still have the owner's manuals and such here. Not surprised, this one was kept in pretty good shape for the most part. We have an aftermarket radio. And there's that 4.7 liter naturally aspirated V8. So this one's definitely spec'd out to tow if you ever need to do that. But let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So leather wrap steering wheel still seems to be in great shape. Feels nice as well, just a little bit of wear across the top there, but no big deal, honestly. And then over here, we have our aftermarket radio. Somebody put this in here. You do get your FM, then you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wired. So tons of options there. And then down here we have our automatic climate controls. That's going to be single zone, so we can adjust the fan speed and then temperature, and you can set it to auto mode there, and then cut the whole system off if you need to. Turn that down just a little bit, and then you can toggle your rear AC here, hazards, traction control, and then ashtray there, cup holders here. Then you have two more down there. Power mirror controls are going to be right here. So right side off, and then left side, you can adjust that. Interesting place to put them. And then in here we have our center console cubby space, which is pretty huge in my opinion. And then up here we can see the temperature outside as well as the direction we're facing. I'm gonna open this sunroof back. Sunglasses holders here. Then we can tilt, or we can one-touch slide it. And there's the universal garage door transmitter there as well. And then we can one-touch close it as well. So I love that for 2003. Now over to the left side of the steering wheel, you hit this mode button, and when it's set up with the stock radio, we can go through our audio sources. And then over here we can go through our track list, radio station presets, volume controls here, and then cruise controls are over here. Headlamp controls, fog lights, and then high beams, flash the high beams. Then we have our windshield wiper controls here, so we can set our intermittent here. And then we have intermittent low, high, off, and then we can use our rear wiper there. And then push up here for front wiper fluid, and then pull that for the rear wiper fluid. And that's just a little loud. And then for the shifter, hold the brake, reverse, neutral, drive, then you have second, then your low gear, and then you have your overdrive right here. And then you see the mileage there. We can go through the trips and whatnot. And then finally, that's our key fob, and we have a turn key there. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2003 Toyota Sequoia out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this 2002 Sequoia, one great thing about the Sequoias, the Tundras, especially around this year, is you see so many with 200K plus miles on them still driving around like new, but they were more simple than the newer trucks, the newer SUVs. So of course the new Sequoias and Tundras were like 14 years since their last refresh, and now they both have twin turbo V6s and hybrid setups and all of that, and this is just a naturally aspirated V8. So when repair bills come around, more people know how to work on these. You can find it usually cheaper in terms of labor costs because you don't have to necessarily take it to a dealer. But it's a simple setup. You have a 4-speed automatic, a 4.7 iForce V8, which I have a 2004 Tundra, and that has just, I think it's 206,000 miles. Haven't done much to it. And then I had a 2007 Tundra before that, had about 230,000 miles. Replaced the timing chain, and then I ended up selling it to somebody who's still driving it. So these are just, they go the distance, these Toyotas do. Now this one probably needs some suspension work with these aftermarket wheels. maybe a wheel bearing. I had to replace one of those on my 07 Tundra because I'm getting just a little bit of shake here, but the tires probably have some miles to them. It could be a lot of stuff, because when you get around 220,000 miles for a vehicle, you're gonna have to replace stuff, especially if it's older. So just a little bit of shake there, but the ride itself is somewhat smooth and in tip-top shape. I'm sure it'll ride like it's supposed to. But this is a fresh trade, so this one hasn't been worked on or anything like that, so I don't know what it might need, but you take it to the right place, or if you know how to do it yourself, it'll probably be a somewhat inexpensive repair, because it's not like these had air suspension or crazy things going on. And these have always been, especially with the 4.7s, they've been thirsty machines. But with them being thirsty, they definitely can do a lot of work. So obviously this one was towing probably something somewhat big, as it does have the towing package. It has the trailer brake controller. But these things are hosses. Between this and the Tundra, you can pretty much pull what you need to without, well, unless you need heavy duty truck towing capacity. But the Sequoia and the Tundra will pretty much run with any full-size truck or SUV. But my lady, she had a, her grandmother had a Sequoia that she basically drove until the wheels fell off, and that had about almost 300K on it and was absolutely perfect. And that's why a lot of people like these, because you fix them up and you keep them maintained, they'll go about as long as you will. And you can't say that about the vast majority of vehicles out on the road these days. And like I said, this one has been meticulously cared for. They kept all the service bills in a manila folder with the window sticker. And I always like cars that are kept up like that. Now, of course, competition back in 2003, you pretty much had the Tahoe, the Expedition, and then even Jeep had the Commander. But this one, you're gonna see a lot more of these out on the road. Maybe you'll see some Tahoes out there too, but like I said, these just hold up a lot better than the competition in terms of repair bills, wear and tear in general. And again, they're pretty much bulletproof. And the 4-speed's working great still. And I feel like it needs something definitely. 'Cause I'm hearing something flapping up front that doesn't sound like my Tundra does, and it has the same powertrain. But after that's fixed, it'll probably be good to go however long you need it to. And again, it's a Toyota Sequoia, so end of statement. This will bring me to the end of my review of this 2003 Toyota Sequoia.